Coach Corey Wayne, and this is my video coaching newsletter. And the topic of this newsletter is going to be flexible when you ask women out for dates. I've got an email here from a guy who's obviously got a girl who is giving him all of the signs of interest, and she's trying to make a date, but his problem is he's been a little too rigid and inflexible when he's asked her out, and so when she gives him a counter, he just ends up walking away from the interaction without setting any kind of date, as opposed to making a date when she's available or asking her when she's available. So let's go through his email here. He says, I recently discovered you on YouTube by clicking on related videos. Your advice seems to be solid and straightforward. I do have a question to ask you regarding this girl who works at my gym. I met her in April, but I was not that attracted to her, or should I say she wasn't on my radar until whenever I walked into the gym, she would greet me saying, Hi Sean, how are you? That's when we started having casual conversation. I would tease her once in a while, saying things like, stop checking me out while I'm working out, or at least don't make it obvious. Geez, great comebacks, great way to banter with a girl. She would have a stunned look on her face, and she would giggle. One day, I decided to ask for her phone number, and while I was putting her phone number on my cell, I asked her, hey, if you're free tomorrow, let's go on a bicycle ride that I just tuned up. And her response was, well, I'm busy until 8 p.m., I just smiled at her and said maybe next time and said goodbye. Well, the thing is, you completely missed an opportunity there. She said, in other words, she's communicating, I'd like to go out with you, but I'm not free until 8 o'clock. So your choice was either to do something at night, which is better than a bicycle ride anyways, because you should be making plans in the evening to go out with a girl. That way you can either end up at her place or your place later, so you can seduce her and have great sex, or the indoor Olympics, as I like to say. And so what I would have said to her is, when she said 8 p.m., I would have said, well, I'm going to go on my bike ride anyway, so why don't we meet for a drink? Say, why don't we meet at like 8:30 or 9 o'clock at a certain, and name a place. And she said she's available after 8 o'clock. She's basically saying, I can't, but hey, I'm available after 8. That was a counter offer. And because you were rigid and inflexible, you just, it went right over your head. But you totally could have had a date with her, and you were inflexible. Or maybe if you weren't busy that night, you would have said, oh, damn, I got plans already. But this is what you should have said to her. It's like, well, what other days, what other evenings are you free to get together so you can meet up for a drink? Let her tell you, and then say, great, how about such and such a day or whatever, and then make a date right on the spot. Definite plans for the definite day and time and a place to meet. And then obviously make sure she's got your phone number, and if this was at the time when obviously you were getting her phone number, you should have texted her, just say, I got your number, so in case anything comes up, I'll call you, and you got my number, so if something comes up, give me a text. Otherwise, I'll just see you at the bar or the restaurant or the wherever you guys are going to meet. And she'll say, great. And I say, awesome, well, I look forward to seeing you. I'll see you there. And she's like, great. And that's all you got to do. He says, the very next day I walked into the gym. He says, about a week later, I called her and left a quick voicemail, but she didn't call back. The very next day, I walked into the gym. And here's the thing. You called and left her a voicemail, and she didn't call you back, probably because she was either working or she was busy. And so maybe she was going to call you that night. You got to understand, you got to be patient with women. You can't get impatient. When you leave a message, you just got to wait for them to get back to you at their own time, because women are like cats. And sometimes women, especially women that you've just met, will purposely not call you back to make sure you're not a needy stalker and you don't blow up her phone 10 times when she doesn't call you back within a few hours. Because a lot of women will do that as a test, and if you were to blow up her phone going, hey, why haven't you called me back? Then that'll communicate you're needy and insecure, and then you'll never hear from her again. Because, talk to enough women, ask them those things. A lot of women will do that because they're trying to screen out the needy, insecure guys, because most men are like that. And she's just trying, maybe you've done some things that appear weak or whatever, and she's just trying to screen you out. Or maybe she was just busy. Maybe she didn't have her phone with her. Maybe her battery died. Or maybe she had plans and she was glad that you called, and she was planning on calling you after she got off work the next day because she would have had time. And that's the way you got to look at it. That's why it's always, when you leave a message, you got to be patient. You got to wait for a girl to get back to you. Because if you're impatient and you don't wait, you'll fucking totally blow it. Because you'll come off as needy and insecure. He says, He says, so the very next day I walked into the gym and she saw me and she waved both of her hands and said, did you call me yesterday? Because you spoke pretty face. I couldn't understand who it was. And so, I mean, she's being sweet to you. Obviously, she likes you. And he says, in my mind, I thought it was a BS answer, but I played it cool like nothing major happened. And the reason you thought it was a BS answer is because deep down, you're assuming there's no way that this girl will like me, and I'm probably getting a BS answer. And so you're coming from a place of, you're basically communicating with your thoughts and your belief system that you don't think you deserve to get a girl like her, or any girl in general for that matter, because probably in the past, before you found out about my work, you fucked up a lot. And so you gotta control the way you're thinking, and you gotta just be patient with women and let them come to you at their own pace when you've left a message for them. He says, I feel a bit confused, but in my mind I'm saying, oh, just ask her. Shit happens for a reason. Absolutely, dude. He says, but then again, I do not ruin a chance by being needy. Women's reactions don't bother me as much as it did a few years ago. I try to be friendly and touch her whenever I can, like giving her high fives and making up handshakes. I have a feeling that we might be in the friend zone, but sometimes she stutters when she says hi to me, like, hi, Sean. I mean, how are you, Sean? I meant to say, what's up? A friend of mine told me I should touch her more often when I interact with her, but how can I do that often when she's in a working environment with a customer and it's busy? Thank you for reading my long nonsense email. And then here he says, she invited me to her birthday party way before I asked her for her phone number, and she says, I'm having a birthday dinner at this pizza place. You can come if you want. And let me tell you, I love beer. My response was, crap, I'm lactose intolerant and I'm allergic to beer. Her response was, there's gluten-free beer, you know, but I didn't go. So, I mean, it's obvious this girl likes you and she's trying. I mean, you got to remember, sex has to be the guy's fault. And so she's doing everything she can other than, I mean, she even asked you to come meet up with her because she's not going to come out and ask you out for a date. But your job as a man is to be directing, to get to the point. And it's like, you asked her out, but she was unavailable, and so you walk away all butthurt that she was unavailable at the time that you asked you. In other words, you can't expect women to just blow off their whole life and their schedule just because you asked them out. You got to be a little flexible. And so, same thing, when you ran into the girl the next day, and she's like, hey, you know, you called me, I was on, and I mean, she brings it up, and you made the mistake the second time of not making a definite date. Just say, hey, yeah, I called because I wanted to see when you're free so we can get together. Well, when are you free? And you should have made a date right on the spot. But it's like, there's like 3 missed opportunities here in this email where the girl's making herself available and you just didn't go in and make the definite date. So you need to clean up your act. You need to be flexible. And instead of trying to nail a girl down for a definite time, just say, hey, when are you free to get together? And just do that. So when you call her next time, send her a text. Just say, hey, I wanted to get together for a drink. When are you free to meet up? ? And send that. Let her respond. And when she does, then make a definite date. But you've screwed up so much here, you might have undone some of the chances or her interest in you. So just be better next time and practice this with other women as well. Because obviously you're spending a lot of time talking to this girl and interacting with her, but not really taking advantage of the opportunities that she's presenting to you. So if you have a question that you want to ask me, or there's a topic you want me to cover in a future video newsletter, go to my website, click the Contact Me tab, which is going to be on the left-hand side of your screen. Send me 1 to 2 paragraphs max detailing your questions, your situation, your challenges. And you just got to give me several days to get back to you with a response because I get a lot of email from the internet, and I also get a lot of it from my paying phone coaching customers. But be patient, and I will get back to you. And if you want to talk to me right away, the quickest way to get my help is to book a paid phone coaching session. And you can do that by going to my website. Click the Products tab, which is going to be at the top of your screen, and just follow the instructions. If you want to get a digital version of my Kindle ebook, which I highly recommend, on my website underneath the email sign-up box will be a link that will take you to the Amazon Kindle download page for my book. Once you get to the download page, there's a button on the right-hand side that you can click so you can download one of their free e-reader apps for your smartphone or your Mac or your PC. It only takes a matter of seconds to download and install the app, and only a few more seconds after that to complete the purchase of my book. You'll be reading it in no time. And I will talk to you soon.